Dear students, today we are going to learn meaning of delegation, importance of delegation, and one more concept that is relating to functional structure and divisional structure. That means the difference between functional structure and divisional structure. These are what the concepts which we are going to learn in this class. Now we are going to know what do you mean by delegation, right? Dear students, in any organization, people who are working in that organization, they are having some role to play. Means they are having some work, some task, some responsibility. They are having some authority. At the same time, they are also having some accountability, right? So there is organizational culture. There is an hierarchy. Superior is there, subordinates are there, right? These we have studied in our first chapter, that is nature and significance of management, and of course in this chapter also, right? So delegation means assigning of certain responsibilities along with the necessary authority by a superior to his subordinates. This is what about the meaning of delegation. One more time, delegation means assigning of certain responsibilities. So manager has to assign certain responsibilities to whom? To the subordinates, right? And not only assigning of certain responsibilities, along with that, necessary authority should be given by the superior to his subordinates. That is what about meaning of delegation. That means delegation of authority. So after knowing the meaning of this, there is a definition on this. According to Theo Heman, delegation of authority merely means the granting of authority to subordinates to operate within prescribed limits. So, according to this definition given by Theo Heman, delegation of authority merely means delegation of authority means granting of authority to subordinates. And who is going to grant authority to the subordinates? That is a higher authority, that is superior authority, right? So that authority granting to subordinates to operate within prescribed limits. So when the authority given to the subordinates, they have to work out, they have to operate within prescribed limits. That means those people, they have to act within the limit. They are not supposed to cross that limit. Within that limit, they have to perform the work. That is what about the definition of delegation. After knowing the meaning of delegation, definition of delegation given by Theo Heman, this delegation includes basically three elements, that is technically called as what? Elements of delegation. These are: first one, responsibility is there; second one, authority is there; third one, accountability is there. Dear students, friends, on this you are going to get one question for 1 mark, section A. The question is like this. Mention any one elements of delegation. Question comes like this. Mention any one elements of delegation. So I told you there are three. You may write responsibility, you may write authority, you may write accountability. These are what elements of delegation, right? So responsibility means what? It is an obligation of a person, means employee, to complete the task, means duty assigned to him. That is what responsibility. Next, authority. Second one is what? Authority. Authority means power to command. The person who has a authority, he has a power to command. Third one, it is what? Accountability. So accountability means what? The subordinates will be answerable to his superiors for their work. That is what about accountability. So after knowing elements of delegation, after knowing the meaning of delegation and definition, now we are going to know importance of delegation. What are the importance are there? So you may get question on this for 4 marks. Explain briefly the importance of delegation. You may get question like this. So if the question comes like this, you need to remember any 4 points, and for those 4 points you have to give explanation around 3 to 4 lines. It is enough, right? Now one by one, if you go through the importance of delegation, first one, effective management is there, right? Effective management, that means delegation leads to effective management. Delegation leads to effective management, right? So manager assigning works to the employees, because all the work is not able to perform by a manager. He cannot to do all the activities. That is why it is a team effort. It is a collective efforts. So that is the reason why manager assigning works to the employees. So manager has more time to concentrate on important matters. So when whatever the routine work is there, that work assigned by the manager to the subordinates, and manager will concentrate on the majority of or the major decisions or important matters. That is what about the first one, effective management. The second importance of delegation, delegation leads to employee development, right? So when the authority given, when the responsibility given, automatically those people, means the people who have got the responsibility from the higher authority, no doubt they need to work according to instructions of the higher authority. So when they are going to working, when they are going to work day by day, step by step, they are going to become comfortable. They are going to become an experienced person, experienced people, right? And their morale will be high, their confidence will be high. So employees get more opportunities to utilize their talent, their skills, their ideas, right? So this delegation helps to employees to develop their skills, and also employees are going to get higher positions, If the caliber is there, no doubt they are going to get a better position in the organization. So they may have promotion facilities, right? That is what about the second one, employees development. So for your study purpose, reading purpose, we have given sufficient information, means explanation. Next, the third one, delegation helps to motivation of employees. Delegation of authority helps to motivation of employees, right? It helps in developing the caliber or the talent of employees. Delegation leads to encourage the employees, and which leads to improve their performance further. So by handovering the responsibility, by assigning the responsibility, and keeping confidence on those employees, by motivating the employees, by giving words of appreciation, no doubt employees are going to get more interest, and willingly and voluntarily, with more interest, people people who are going to work more. That is what about the third point, motivation of employees. Fourth one, facilitation of growth. Delegation helps in the expansion of the business organization by providing a ready workforce, and also helps to train the employees who are able to play significant role in the launch of new projects, or diversification of products and services. This is fourth one. The fifth one coming, delegation is the basis of management hierarchy. So just remember levels of management, right? So delegation is the basis of hierarchy of management. It is a degree and flow of authority which determines who has to report to whom. Right? Unity of command also you may remember this point of time. Right? So it is the basis of hierarchy of management, and it also decides the power that each job position enjoys in the organization. Next one, better coordination. Delegation leads to better coordination among the various departments of the organization, various sections, or the various levels of management. So, it helps to avoid overlapping of duties or the efforts. It gives a clear picture of work being done at various levels, right? Due to clarity in reporting relationships, help in developing and maintaining effective coordination among the various departments levels. These are what the importance of delegation. So in the exam you may get question that is, explain briefly or explain any four importance of delegation. So here you have six importance. Remember any four, right? This is for 4 marks. So as I already told you in the beginning itself, now we are going to study the difference between functional structure and divisional structure. This was the concept of uh, previous class, right? That is, here the table given, it gives clear ideas to you. in which way these two are different, right? So here the basis of difference are the points on which you can differentiate functional structure and divisional structure. So in the first column, meaning given, so functional structure meaning and divisional structure meaning is there. So we have already studied about these two. So grouping of jobs of a similar nature under functions and organizing these functions as a department creates a functional structure. So in case of divisional structure, diversified activities organize their structure with separate business units. This we have came to know already. Now the formation, how the function structure is going to form and how division structure is formed. What is the criteria? Here is it is formed on the basis of functions performed in the organization like purchase, production, marketing, finance activities. That is. Then in case of divisional structure, it is formed on the basis of product lines supported by functions, right? So on the basis of products. So just you remember the chart, that is divisional structure like footwear, right? Clothes, skin products. That means on the basis of the line of products. The specialization, it leads to functional specialization, whereas divisional leads to product specialization. Next, responsibility. In case of functional structure, it is difficult to fix responsibility on a department, but in case of divisional structure, it is easy to fix responsibility for performance. Then managerial development. In case of functional structure, less scope of managerial development as specialized functions are performed. So only purchase manager has a responsibility of purchase activities and he is not supposed to enter into other department. So finance manager expert in financial activities, right? Like that. In case of divisional structure, high degree of managerial development with ease due to autonomy and performance multiple functions. Due to this, there is a development is there. Managerial development is there in case of divisional structure. Then cost involved. What about cost factor in case of functional structure and cost factor in case of divisional structure? So in case of functional structure, cost involved is economical as there is a no duplication of work, because purchase activities done by only purchase department, those activities are not done by the production activities and vice versa. Then in case of divisional structure, it is costly as there is a duplication of work and resources. So this is what about the difference between functional and divisional structure. So you may get this question. For that you need to remember these points and write. So 4 points are enough for 4 marks. This is what about functional and divisional structure of an organization. Thank you.